In 1993, an average citizen breached an armed forces compound using only this briefcase and the contents inside. Believe it or not.
This is United A-Holes, a video cast discussing cultural topics with no filter.
Welcome back to Area 41. Bruce Campbell's favorite spot on the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who the hell is Bruce Campbell? Oh, yeah, he's that dude that I liked in the Spider-Man movies.
Yeah, he played that waiter in Spider-Man 3.
Yeah, it was
And
great.
one.
Was he a waiter?
He was a ring announcer.
Ring announcer.
He was the
Ring announcer in 1, waiter in 2 and 3. He was
The
in, he was in all of them.
Amazing Spider-Man. No, I'm the Human Spider. No, that name sucks, kid.
So why are we talking about Bruce Campbell? What does that have to do with anything right now?
Well, he's actually doing the redo on the Travel Channel for Ripley's Believe It or Not.
That sounds like a failed project from the word go.
Yeah, I don't believe it. Why does that sound like a failed project?
Because it's on the Travel Channel.
Oh, my friend. The Travel Channel's big.
Is it?
I watch
huge.
Travel Channel shows.
It's the 17th most watched channel in the
Area 41 science.
They're actually beneath us, apparently.
You're telling me you wouldn't watch Ripley's Believe It or Not,
I'm not saying that.
regardless of network?
No, I wouldn't
Especially
watch it on a
Bruce Campbell?
network.
He would, yeah.
If he told me it was on Netflix, like, this is going to be a home run.
he would acquire it somehow.
That's right. I'm not going to watch it on the goddamn Travel Channel because I don't subscribe to the
But
Travel Channel.
Travel Channel has Ghost Adventures.
Oh, now I know why you're in. Okay. So they have any UFO shows while we're at it?
Well, if you watch the Travel Channel, then I'm surprised you haven't seen any of it.
I don't watch the Travel Channel.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay, so
Gotcha.
Ripley's Believe It or Not, what's that have to do with anything?
Well, about a month ago, I came up with a concept for a show, and it was tentatively titled "It's All Fun and Games Until the Shit Hits the Fan." And I've had 2 instances in my life where I thought I was the outsider bystander looking at something amazing or something serious was going to go down, and both times it turned out that I was actually the center of the shit hit me. So that's why it's all fun and games until the shit hits you, otherwise known as Kenny's Believe It or Not, or whatever. So you're going to get a couple of quick stories.
All right,
From me
fire
tonight.
away.
I'm sorry.
And then
Quick.
see if this has happened to you guys. Okay, so my first one actually, if you saw the intro, actually did take place in '93. I was in the finance industry, and AKA licensed loan shark or whatever you wanted to call us back then. I get transferred to St. John, Newfoundland, and I didn't really know
Newfoundland?
St. John, New Brunswick.
Oh,
Sorry.
you said Newfoundland.
I get transferred to St. John's too at one point.
So this story takes place in
New Brunswick, in St. John's.
St. John's, New Brunswick.
St. John. And
I'm listening, Ken.
we had to
Candy.
we did our own collections back then. You know, if somebody went past due
Like
on their loan,
Batman.
dog, we had to
County
go
down
out.
there.
We had to actually go knock on doors and what have you not. And this one
Give us some money.
month end, that's when how you finish the month, what percentage your arrears were. My boss came to me and he said, "There's a guy that works at the St. John shipyard. You got to get him. Not a bad guy, but we got to get him off the arrears." Now, in some cases back then, it was a numbers game. So if you had a guy that was continuously, not bad, but not a great payer, in order to get him off arrears sometimes, what you used to do is lend him some money. Not a lot of money, but just
Enough to make the payment?
redo his loan so that he was 100% up to date and get him a couple $100 on the guys that, hey, if you had a couple $100, would that like put you back on an even keel and bring you, put you back on square one and straighten out your finances. Yeah.
All at 29.5% interest.
Oh, with 35.97 back then.
Oh my God.
Say it was higher than that back then, I'll guarantee you.
Trump's cheaper to go to a loan shark.
It's cheaper
And
to
so-
go to a real shark.
So that's all my boss said to me was that I had to go to the shipyard. I really didn't fully fathom what I was getting into, but I had the documents with me, and keener like I was, I said to my boss, "Yeah, no problem, I'll get them. No worries."
Can you get them?
So I drove to
Kenny
the
Corleone.
St. John shipyard and knew they built ships, but really didn't fathom that they were in the Canadian Armed Forces frigate, heavy into the frigate program right then and there. And got there into the parking lot and saw that there was a little bit of a lineup, what looked like there was like an entrance or a gate or whatever. But I looked to my right and I saw like a kind of like a barrier, but really not that great a deterrent for me not to like hop it and just make my way to the front of the building so I could get my guy type of thing as soon as he came out. Because I had a picture of what he looked like and thought, oh, this is going to be easy. Collecting money in St. John's easy, so to speak. So I basically hopped the barrier, and I had this actual same briefcase in tow,
Earlier.
started walking. Started basically, nonchalantly, like walking towards the main entrance of where they were building the ships or whatever. And I got about 10 steps and I heard an alarm go off. And I heard this, and there was some people running and everything like that. And I kind of stopped for a second and started walking a little bit. And I said, holy fuck, what the fuck's going on here? This is going to get interesting. And I kept on walking a little bit more. And then I heard a siren and I heard somebody yell, "You there in the suit, stop." And I didn't because I was like, oh, fuck.
Some guy in a
I'm going to
suit's
see
gonna
some
have a bad
shit now. What the fuck is going on? Drop the fucking briefcase. Are you dumb? And it was like, wait a second.
I have a briefcase.
I'm holding a briefcase.
And I'm in a suit. Who knew?
And then I realized that they was talking to me. And they weren't really friendly. And they caught up to me, and Buddy took my briefcase and took my ID and put me in the back of a vehicle and drove me back to the main gate and put me in an office by myself, and nobody came to see me for about an hour and a half. And then finally, two guys from security and another guy in a suit walked in, and a St. John actually police officer, and wanted me to tell them who I was and what I was doing there. Because apparently, you just can't walk into a military project that's ongoing without actually first giving them credentials or
at
anything.
this point,
I really wasn't.
Seconds.
My instructions were to get the guy and make sure I made contact with him and pitch him on
that's
this
what Kenny
idea of
opened with. I'm
renewing
gonna
his
get
loan.
this guy.
It really wasn't explained to me all that much that I really had to go through the main security gate and everything like that.
So Ken thought he was a Mountie. He's just going to get his man.
Yeah, I basically, so they weren't really impressed with me, but they summarized that I wasn't a terrorist or I wasn't there to steal secrets. But in hindsight, they told me that, carrying a briefcase into a secured military project was
Could have gotten you killed.
Yeah, basically, they weren't impressed with me. But I explained to them why I was there and everything. And in all actual fact, the guy that I was there to see, they sent into the room with me.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Alone?
and we did our. But the general premise was the guy in the
Beats the shit out
actual
of you.
suit with the walkie-talkie was kind of like, and he doesn't ever have cause to come here ever again, right?
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Oh, the guy got in a little bit of trouble?
He got in a little bit of trouble. The fact that
Okay.
because when you're working on a project like that, and
Yeah.
your financial
You can't have shady loan sharks showing up
you
to
can't,
get money.
You can't
No,
be
he
in a
was a very good
situation where
loan
somebody
shark.
says, "Hey, you're in financial difficulty. I'll give you $50,000 for a set of the gun schematics."
right.
Yeah, so they take all that very, very,
serious. I never
very
thought about
seriously.
that.
Yeah,
True.
yeah. So it was, but
Did
it
they
was
probe you anally?
no, they
So
did
it wasn't.
not.
It was not a
No,
pleasurable visit at all.
They basically just took all my ID and everything like that, my briefcase, and
They stole your identity.
back in the days in '93 when they couldn't actually search your internet history browser, right?
So-
or else I probably would.
I'll do the
Wouldn't
needful.
that-
Believable?
Do the needful.
Oh, I totally believe it. It's canon.
Believable?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Believable? 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 Okay, so they are not is not happening yet.
Yeah.
So story number 2, what happened?
Story number 2 involves this a-hole right over here, actually. Yes. 5 or 6 years ago, Horo was up at my place and we were watching TV. And I know he's gonna want to interject at some point in time, but I'll tell the story.
So, yeah, shut up.
All right, so we're watching TV, and the next thing you know,
What I did last
I see
week, so-
the blue and red and white lights come up the street, and there he goes. There's his first nod, right? And so we're watching TV, and Halvin gets up out of his chair, looks out the back window, and says, "Town cops. What are they doing? They're just parked at the intersection." I lived on a 4-way, right on the corner.
I just have to interrupt. I couldn't see your face. Did you just lean ahead close enough the mic to burp? At that point?
That's what I just get out of that. So Halden,
It was a good performance.
So, we didn't think too much of
Next
it.
time when he shits his pants on air.
We both surmised that they had pulled somebody over. And then the next thing you know, about 40 seconds later, we see some more sirens. And another cop car stops at the other corner.
This is United A-Holes.
I can fucking see sound. Shut up.
Okay, thank you.
Believe it
See
or
the
not.
lights. And at this point in time, we're both looking out the window. I'm looking out of the front of the street. He's looking out the side. And Helen says, "Well, there's 2 now stopped there at the intersection." And I said, "They're looking for somebody. Something's going down." And there was kind of a not reputable couple of houses down on that. And so
Street he was going to say.
we
He accidentally
so we thought
Forget words.
they were looking, we thought they were looking for somebody, right? And then the next thing you know, there's another truck with a siren. It's a pickup truck this time, and Halden says, "That's the fire. That's Ricky Nicholson's vehicle. That's the fire chief." And Ricky parks right up my neighbor's lawn, like right over the
I
sidewalk.
just remember the story.
And Helen goes, "Geez, something the hell's going down or whatever, but it's getting pretty serious." And I'm looking out, can't see anything. And next thing you know, I see another cop car coming up my street, and he parks on the other intersection. And all 3 have their lights on. And I'm going, what in the hell is going on? Is somebody getting shot or whatever? Is there a hostage situation? Jesus, this is getting good. Pause the TV or whatever.
This is getting good.
And
One of my neighbors is getting killed. This is awesome.
then the fire truck, the big pumper that they have, starts barreling up the street. And I said, "Oh, geez, there's a fire somewhere. Holy fuck. Man, that's pretty fucking close." And he's looking out the window, and then for some strange reason, we're switching sides. And next thing you know, Halden utters the word, "Ken, I know where the fire's at." I said, "What's that?" He goes, "The pumper truck is parked in front of your house." And I'm thinking, are you fucking kidding me? And and I'm upstairs. The first thing I do is open the door, and all I can smell is something burning, smoke
shit.
starting to waft up its way. And I'm thinking, oh, for fuck's sake. In that split second that you think that, Jesus Christ, the house I'm in is on fire. And
Been there.
to make matters worse,
Yeah. There you go.
I don't get 4 steps down, and there's 2 firemen coming through the front, one with an axe and another one behind him. And he's telling me he's got his hand up, and he's going through my landlord, Kevin's house downstairs and everything. And I'm basically just wondering what the hell's going on. Long story short, my landlord lit a fire downstairs in his fireplace, forgot to turn the draft on, and all the smoke just went all over his place. Yeah. He takes a shower in the meantime and is in the shower, and he's oblivious to phone calls, people trying to, get a hold of him. In the meantime, the community college house that's like 4 houses down see his chimney, like with all the flames and everything like that coming out of it and everything, and they call under duress saying that there's a 5-alarm fire at 125 Elm Street, which I lived in, and that's why all the crash and everything. But there's a sinking feeling when it hits you that your house is actually
building. Yeah.
I'm in a burning building is serious shit. But up until that time, it was like, oh, this is going to be good, right? Like, are they in a standoff with somebody, or
oh boy, disaster!
Yeah,
I'm gonna have something to watch. I would feel the same way.
Did they pull somebody over that had coke in their car or a firearm or whatever? Because
is Pepsi okay?
There's 3 police cars, 1 fire truck, and the fire chief that all showed up. But when Horo said, "Ken, the fire truck's parked right in front of your front door."
So the believe it or not part went right out the window the minute that you mentioned Horo, and he went, "Oh, I remember this. Clearly this happened." Or this is another one of those long story, small payoff moments on United A-Holes.
Where Halden sets up a big long joke. Is this one of yours?
Is this it?
No.
Josh remembered the story.
Josh remembered the story, but he could be in on it.
I didn't, but I think your theory is stupid.
And so that was the premise I put to anybody. Has anybody else ever been in a position like that where they thought that
where I was watching something and didn't realize I was the center of attention?
The center of attention.
Well, I'm always
or
the center of
focus.
attention, so it's never happened.
Except
to me,
when I'm in the room.
He thinks.
It's a gravity thing. It's
The air is a little different up there. The rest of us breathe.
I don't recall one specific. I know there's been a couple moments in my life where that's kind of happened, but not to that level. Not anywhere near that level.
I had a house fire, so I can relate to a lot
Yeah,
of
but
that.
you knew your house was on fire. You weren't looking out the window wondering what the fire trucks were for?
That's correct.
Yeah.
I had to call to get the fire trucks.
Yeah. Oh no, it could go out by itself. You never know these things.
Well, and the crazy thing was, neither one of us smelled any smoke at all.
No, not until I opened up the door.
Yep.
And then
Oh, well, all you can smell were each other's upper lip.